Hey, what's going on, guys? This is a much long awaited video for myself to show you guys because this is going to put together the three previous videos we already spoke about, which was carbohydrates, fats, and proteins. So we're about to jump into how to figure out your personal macros. We can take two people of the same gender, same height, and same weight, and their macros are going to be a little different simply because they're two different people. So let's start from the top and work our way down. All right, guys. Now, if we look at this piece of paper right here, first of all, you want to figure out if you want to maintain, if you want to bulk, or if you want to cut. And I'll show you how we figure out the maintenance number here in a second. But before we get into that, for those of you who don't know, 1 gram of protein is 4 calories. 1 gram of carbohydrates is also 4 calories, and 1 gram of fat is 9 calories. So a little over half than proteins and carbs. Okay, now how to figure out your maintenance. So the first method is going online, and it's most likely not going to be the most accurate because it's not going off your personal information. It's going off of someone who is your same gender, your same height, your same weight, and activity level. So could an online calculator be somewhat accurate? Yeah, it can, but again, it's kind of a hit and miss. The way I prefer to figure it out is using a scale for me personally. So what you do is you track the food that you're intaking for 3 weeks, and you weigh yourself every morning at the same time. That way you know it's consistent and it's accurate. It's your own personal weight. So you do that for 3 weeks. Then you average out your weight for each week, and then you'll know from week to week if you're going up in weight, if you're going down in weight, or if you're maintaining in weight. Okay? So that's the most accurate way that I know how to do it, because it's based off my personal information. It's based off my personal stats. And the other thing, how to track what you're eating, is I like to use an app called MyFitnessPal, and it's pretty accurate. And another thing that I like about it, you can scan things. So like barcodes off, let's say an item that you eat, you can scan it. You can, let's say they change the recipe on something and the macros are not what they used to be, then you can adjust those. You can enter things yourself. I mean, the library they have on that app is huge, because it's people like us entering the information, and so that library grows pretty much every day, because there's new products that come out, or there's they change the label so it needs to be updated, and whatever. Also, like going out, obviously going out is going to be not as accurate, but a lot of foods that are out there are in this app also. So that's my personal preference on how to figure out your maintenance. But like I said, you can also use a online calculator that's going to guess what your maintenance is going to be. All right, so now we're gonna go back to the paper here and show you how to cut first and then how to bulk. Okay. So if we look at this piece of paper here, for example, let's take a relatively active male, and their calorie intake as a maintenance is 3,000. To cut, you simply take away 500, so I would put us down to 2,500 calories per day. Now, this is crucial. This is important. Just because you know the number of calories that you're supposed to intake doesn't mean you know what these 2,500 calories consist of. So that's what we're about to break down. So to figure out how many grams of protein, carbs, and fats to equal this number is very simple. So if we look at protein, you roughly want to intake about 1 to about 1.4 grams of protein per body weight. Okay. Now, let's say you're, relatively heavy, or you're overweight. You want to go off your lean body mass, okay? And that's just something you Google. And they find this number simply by going off your gender, age, and height. That's it. So that's how doctors say you're underweight, or you're overweight, or you're obese. That's how they know. because it's just a simple chart. So going back up here to protein, if you like your eating habits to be on the lower side of protein, if you don't like protein as much, then you would go with the 1 gram per body weight. But if you like protein on the high side, you would go relatively about the 1.4. Okay, I'm right at the middle. I do it at a 1.2 personally. Okay, so what we do is we take, let's say we go off 1.2, right? Now let's say we have a person that weighs 170 pounds. Okay, so we went right off the middle, which was 1.2. So all we do is take the body weight, times that by the grams of protein that you selected. In this case, we did 1.2, and that equals 204. That means this person's going to intake 402 grams of protein per day. Okay. Now, over here, all you do is, since each gram of protein is 4 calories per gram, all you do is times 204 times 4, and then you get this number right here, which is 816 calories coming from protein. Out of these 2,500 that we see here, 816 of those are going to come from protein. Okay, so now we're going to jump from proteins to fats. Your fats, you want to be at about 15 to 25% of your calories coming from fat. So if you watch the video I made on fats, you know that fats are essential, meaning you need them. They're something that your body requires. So if you like a higher fat eating style / diet, then you can go with the 25%. If you like more on the lower side, you can go with the 15%. But for this example, we're going to go right in the middle. So we're going to go with the 20%. So all we do is take 2,500 and times it by 0.2, and that's going to give us a number. So how we do that, we multiply 0.20 of 2,500 gives us 500, and that's in calories. Now, each gram of fat we know is 9 calories. So then we divide it by 9, and it gives us 55 grams of fats per day. Now, how we figure out our carbs is the difference, which is fill in the blank. All right, so like I mentioned, how we figure out our carbs is we take the difference of what's left. So we add 816 calories plus 500 calories, and the difference is 1,184 calories coming from carbs. Now, each carb is 4 calories, so all we do is divide this number by 4, and we get 296 grams of carbohydrates. Just to check your math, what you want to do is you want to add this number plus this number plus this number. So add all the calories, and it should equal up to this number right here. Okay, so this person is going to intake 204 grams of protein, 55 grams of fats, and 296 grams of carbohydrates. That's how this person is going to break down the 2,500 calories with this. It's not just a numbers game of going to 2,500 and saying, okay, well, I'm just going to eat 2,500 calories and call it a day. No, you have to figure out what's going to make up those calories. So do you see how simple that was? Now, another thing is you can play around with your carbohydrates and your fats. Okay, let's say you start at 25% of your calories coming from fats. Later down the road, you can go from 25 to 20 to 15 if you like more calories coming from your fats. All you would have to do is adjust your carbohydrates. Okay, don't just increase your fats and not adjust your carbohydrates, because then you're going to be just intaking more calories. Or if you don't like a high fat diet, then you would go with the 15%, and then your calories would go, or your carbohydrates would go up. So, I mean, you can play around with it. You can definitely, start here and then migrate slowly over to this side. That really depends on how you like to eat. So this is how we break down a cut. Now, a bulk is relatively the same thing, except we go up 500 instead of down 500. Okay, so all we do is go up 3,500 calories. So there is a little difference when you're bulking in your fats. So your protein, you're relatively going to stay the same at about 1 to 1.4 grams of protein.
But for fats, you're going to go from 20% to about 30%. Okay? So this is for bulking. Let's say we take it right down the middle. We go from a 25%. All we do is times 0.25 of 3,500. So if you look at the fats here, we said we'd go with the 25% out of 3,500 because that's our total calorie intake per day. We're gonna get 875 calories. Okay, now we know each gram of fat is 9 calories, so we divide that by 9 and we get 97 grams of fat. And then we figure out the difference by filling in the blank. So if we had 816 calories coming from protein and 875 calories coming from fats, so the remaining calories are 1,809. Now each gram of carbohydrate is 4 calories, so we divide it by 4 and we get 452 grams of carbohydrates. And all you do to check your math is add the calories. So you add this number plus this number and this number, and you should get the 3,500. But this person is going to intake 204 grams of protein per day, 97 grams of fat per day, and 452 grams of carbohydrates per day. This is a great starting point. Like I said, you can always play with your fats and your carbohydrates. You know, if you increase one, make sure to take down the other. You know, don't increase one and forget to decrease the other, especially if you're in a bulking phase. So that means you'll be packing on more fat than you want to. I hope you found some value to this video, guys. Information like this is out there. There's so many strong starting points out there simply because there's so much information, and you'll grab a little from here, and then you'll grab a little from here, and then this will conflict with this, and this will be confusing with this, and then you're basically confused and don't know where to start. If you watched the video till now, go ahead and put this into play. Information like this has taken me years to understand and to make sense of it, because like I said, there's so much information out there that you don't know necessarily where to start. If you found this video informative, please give it a big thumbs up. Go ahead and share it with as many people as possible, because that's what we're trying to do on this channel, is reach out to as many of you guys as possible to help you guys reach your fitness goals. And it gives me great pleasure to be able to inform you guys of this information, because like I said, there's so much wrong information out there, or misleading or contradictive. So if any of you guys put this information into play, feel free to contact me. Tell me your story. You know, if you planned on bulking and you actually stuck to it, if you were cutting and you stuck to it, whatever the case may be, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. Have yourself a great day. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. And if you have any questions, please feel free to leave them down in the comment section below. And as always, stay fitted, stick with it, and I'll see you guys in the next one.